our recap of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 7, Episode 1, Bye Bye and Bone
in or bone out?
Voyage. And we decided to mix things up by moving to the most boring corner in our house. I'm sorry, I'll hang a picture or something. So, new season, we have a new housewife that we didn't even meet. So we basically just kind of caught up on everyone. I guess her name's Claudia, and that's all I know. We saw her.
And who cares? And
yeah, apparently we don't care. So Nene is doing the Cirque du Soleil's Humanity, which is the naked one.
Okay, that's nice.
And she's talking about why she picked this part, and I'm like, dude, she picked the part.
Go on.
Are you?
Go on. I'm better now.
Okay. She picked the part because they asked her. And it's probably the least sexy thing watching her rehearsals I've ever seen. You okay?
Not really, but okay.
We catch up with Candy. Todd's 18-year-old daughter's going to move in. They discuss the differences between, you know, how she parents and how he parents and all that. And then, of course, and then we catch up.
You need to quit smoking those cigars.
We catch up with Cynthia and Kenya, who I cannot stand. We catch up with Candy and Portia.
I don't know who Cynthia is, but I really don't like Kenya.
Yeah, I know.
I'm dating an African prince in Africa also. So.
I know. It's the thing to do, apparently.
Sure.
Anyway, and then Portia, I guess she's been demoted from a full housewife to like a friend of the housewives.
Who's Portia?
She was on the camera for like a half a second. She was dating the football player. She got in a fight with Kenya last season.
Well, then I probably like her.
Yeah, she thought the Underground Railroad was her real.
Oh, that one.
Real railroad.
She was married to that abusive guy, wasn't she?
I don't think he was. I don't think.
Am I thinking of somebody else?
Well, I don't know. I don't believe anyone accused him of being abusive. He was really controlling. Is that what you're thinking of?
That's abuse.
Okay. Well, then, okay. Anyway, the real story of the whole episode, it was a really boring episode, was this Paula and Phaedra thing. Now...
Because usually it's so full of excitement and action, I can just barely stand it.
Okay. The thing is that bothered me was that everyone's talking about Apollo like he accidentally jaywalked. He stole $2.3 million. Sure, he had co-conspirators, which is what his problem was, because you do...
Because he wasn't smart enough to pull it off himself.
But just because he didn't steal directly from people he stole from banks, it still costs every single person who banks at that. I mean, somebody has to pay that money, and it's not the bank. It's everybody who banks with them. So I'm a little bit, like, I'm kind of a little weirded out by everyone just being like, oh, well, you just stand by your man. But then also, I really saw them on the road to divorce before this even happened, right? Like, you've watched these seasons. He's like, doesn't really do anything. She's like busting her butt everywhere. He's talking, remember last season, he was talking about how, I go to the strip club, I proudly put that receipt down for $5,000. And you could see her, I thought she was going to stab him with a spoon. She sees him talking to Kenya all the time, touching, you know, he's talking about touching women. I already thought they were on the road to divorce. I mean, they clearly are. And so anyway, so everybody talking about how she deserted him. I think she had one foot out the door after that Mexico trip, so I'm not really that surprised.
My favorite part of the episode was, I bought this and I bought that. It's like, oh, yeah, well, you bought it with other people's money, so does it really count for anything?
Yeah, if you steal the money and then you buy stuff, you don't get brownie points. But it sounded to me like he was not only going to ask for a divorce, but he was planning on getting like a big old settlement from him. And I have to admit, I think it's weird that we have never seen his family. I'm guessing they didn't want his family around. Because there was a whole thing a couple seasons ago about how Phaedra's used to nice things, but Apollo was raised by white people, so he wasn't. Which was kind of funny. I mean, I'm totally fine with her feeling that way. I think it's ridiculous, but if that's how she feels, I'm totally like, okay, girl, there you go. But I thought he was adopted. I mean, that was my assumption because they never really, I don't know. That's just what I assumed, and apparently that's not the case. So for the first time ever, we saw his family, who's all white. It doesn't sound like he grew up in a very healthy house, but, you know, there you go. So there you go. That was the whole episode. It was the Apollo show. So there you go. I do feel bad for him, though. I mean, it's tough to watch someone cry about the fact that they're going to miss their kids and not have. And Candy was right.
Should have thought of that when you were stealing other people's friggin' money.
And Candy was correct when she said that as a black man, he'll probably serve more time. Statistically speaking, there's a lot of studies. I can't say if Apollo specifically is going to serve more time than another white guy. He might serve more, he might serve less, but statistically she does have a point. So there you go. Anyway, that's the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Tell me what you think of the episode. Hit me up in the comments. Did you think it was a great episode? Are you just ready to get back to the girls fighting? Do you think Peter's shady? Because I really feel like he's the next one going down. So